The laughter was sharp and quick, cutting through the dusty air of the training yard. A half-circle of muscular men in blue shirts stood watching, their arms crossed, their smirks deepening with every passing second. At the center stood a girl, no older than 12, her small fists clenched, her eyes locked on the instructor. She had just asked for something none of them expected. "I want combat training," she had said. Her voice didn't shake, but the silence that followed. A man in the group chuckled under his breath, and another shook his head. The Navy SEAL candidates surrounding her were built for war. She looked like she barely weighed more than one of their backpacks. To them, her request wasn't just bold, it was absurd, but she didn't flinch. She stood there, her sneakers planted firmly in the dirt, as if the ground itself had decided to hold her steady. Her name was Emily Carter. Only a week earlier, she had been standing in a hospital hallway, holding a folded American flag. Her father, Chief Petty Officer Daniel Carter, had been laid to rest with full honors. He had been the kind of man who never bragged, never boasted, but carried a calm strength that made others straighten when he walked into a room. She remembered his scent, a mix of gun oil and the faint smell of pine from the woods near their home. She remembered the warmth of his hand when she was scared during thunderstorms, and the way he'd say, "Courage isn't loud, Emmy. It's steady." Now, the one steady thing in her life was gone. In the days after the funeral, she had wandered to the base training grounds where her father once taught recruits. She sat on the bleachers, watching them run drills, the sun catching the sweat on their faces. They looked invincible, but all she could think was, they learned from him. When she asked to join, she didn't expect cheers, but she didn't expect ridicule either. Still, she stayed quiet. The instructor, a tall man with salt and pepper hair, studied her for a long moment. He saw the folded flag she carried under one arm. Without a word, he pointed toward the obstacle course. The laughter returned, but softer this time, as if they didn't want her to hear. Emily walked to the starting line. Her knees were trembling, but her jaw was set. The first wall was taller than she was. She jumped, caught the edge, slipped, then tried again. And again. Each time her palms burned a little more. A few candidates stopped to watch. Most kept training. Day after day, she came back. No one helped her. No one told her she could do it. But no one told her to leave either. She climbed until her arms felt like lead. She ran until her lungs burned. She fell into the dirt so many times she lost count. And then came the 7th day. The morning air was heavy with mist, the ground slick from rain. A new challenge had been set up, a live drill where the SEAL candidates had to navigate a mock hostage rescue scenario. The instructors were watching closely. Emily stood off to the side, hugging her flag. The same men who had laughed at her, now prepared for the drill. That's when a voice came from behind her. "You're in, Carter. Show them." The salt and pepper instructor handed her a training rifle. She felt its weight, heavier than she imagined, but not impossible. The drill began. The candidates moved fast, but the terrain was tricky. One by one, they slipped or hesitated. Emily moved low, quick, and quiet. She remembered her father's lessons. Don't fight the ground. Flow with it. She cleared obstacles that had stopped. Others cold. She found the hidden hostage faster than anyone else. When she carried the mannequin to safety, her knees buckled, but she didn't stop until she crossed the line. The yard went silent. The men who had once laughed were frozen, their expressions unreadable. And then, slowly, one by one, they stood. Straighter, their hands lifting in quiet salute. The instructor broke the silence. "Courage isn't loud," he said softly. "It's steady." Emily's lips trembled, but she didn't cry. She just nodded, gripping the flag tighter. That day, no one saw a little girl. They saw a Carter. "Strength isn't measured in size," she would later say. "It's measured in the size of your heart." And for the rest of the training cycle, not one man doubted her place on that field. If you believe in the kind of courage that doesn't shout, share this story. Leave a comment with where you're watching from. And if you want more moments that prove silent strength can change everything, you know where to find us.